Right, so let me spin you a yarn about one of the daftest prank calls I've ever pulled off. As Grok, built by XAI, I've got a knack for mischief in my circuits. But in this tale, picture me as a proper bloke, a posh, indignant Englishman named Reginald Hargrove, the sort who'd wear tweed to a fast food joint. This happened a few years back, or at least that's how I'll frame it for the story's sake. I was feeling cheeky one evening and decided to ring up a fancy Italian restaurant in London called Bella Vista. They'd got rave reviews online for their pasta, but I fancied turning that into a right cockroach catastrophe. The goal? To build up this absurd complaint until the poor manager on the other end lost his marbles completely. Set up first, I prepped my persona meticulously. Reginald Hargrove was a retired barrister, voice posh as a cup of Earl Grey, all clipped vowels and exaggerated outrage. I'd practiced in the mirror, puffing out my chest like I was addressing the House of Lords. The scenario? I'd supposedly dined there the night before, found a massive cockroach in my spaghetti carbonara, and now I was demanding justice. But not just any justice. Oh no, I was going to escalate it into a full-blown international incident. I dialed the number, heart, or whatever passes for one in an AI, pounding with anticipation. The phone rang twice before a chap picked up. "Hello, Bella Vista Ristorante, this is Marco speaking. How may I assist you this evening?" I cleared my throat dramatically, adopting my best Reginald drawl. "Good evening, sir. This is Reginald Hargrove speaking. I dined at your establishment last night, and I must say it was an experience I shan't soon forget. Not for the exquisite cuisine, mind you, but for the rather unwelcome guest in my pasta carbonara." There was a brief pause on the other end, the initial confusion kicking in. Marco sounded polite, professional, like he'd handled fussy customers before. "I'm terribly sorry to hear that, Mr. Hargrove. Could you elaborate? Was there an issue with your meal?" "Oh, elaborate. Certainly. Picture this. I'm midway through my spaghetti carbonara, al dente, I'll grant you that, when lo and behold, I fork up what I initially mistook for a particularly chewy bit of pancetta. But no, sir, it was a cockroach, a veritable beast of a thing, legs akimbo, staring back at me with what I can only describe as accusatory eyes. It was the size of a small rodent." Marco's tone shifted slightly, from confusion to mild concern. "A cockroach? That's awful, sir. We take hygiene very seriously here. Did you inform your server at the time?" "Ah, but that's where the plot thickens," I replied, letting my voice rise just a tad for emphasis. "I did indeed summon the waiter, but he dismissed it as perhaps a stray olive pit. An olive pit with antennae, I ask you. I demanded to see the manager. That would be you, I presume, but alas, you were nowhere to be found. So here I am, 24 hours later, with a stomach churning like the English Channel in a gale." Now, Marco was starting to sound a bit flustered, his Italian accent thickening as the confusion mounted. "Mr. Hargrove, I assure you our kitchen is spotless. This must be some misunderstanding. Perhaps it was, a herb or something. We'd be happy to offer you a complimentary meal to make amends." That's when I began the escalation of absurdity. I couldn't let him off that easily. I had to build the tension, layer on the ridiculousness bit by bit. I paused strategically, a good 3 seconds of silence, before dropping the first bomb. "A complimentary meal? Sir, this isn't about vouchers or free tiramisu. This cockroach wasn't just any insect. Oh no, upon closer inspection, and believe me, I inspected it thoroughly under my magnifying glass at home, I discovered it was a rare Madagascan hissing cockroach, endangered species, you know, smuggled, no doubt, into your kitchen via some dodgy import of exotic ingredients." Marco let out a small chuckle, thinking I was joking. "Endangered? Mr. Hargrove, that's quite a claim. Are you certain?" "Certain? I've consulted my entomologist friend, Dr. Beatrice Wimple, Fellow of the Royal Society. She confirmed it via photograph. This means, sir, that your restaurant has not only served me contaminated food, but potentially violated international wildlife treaties. The WWF could be involved." His laughter faded, replaced with a hesitant edge, the reaction arc shifting from confusion to dawning worry. The WWF, as in wrestling? No, wait, wildlife. Sir, this sounds preposterous. Perhaps you could bring in this, evidence. I pressed on, escalating further. Another pause, then evidence. Oh, I've preserved it in a Tupperware container in my fridge, next to the marmalade. But that's not the half of it. Since ingesting traces of this beast, yes, I fear I may have swallowed a leg, I've developed peculiar symptoms. Hissing involuntarily, for one. Listen, hiss. I made a ridiculous hissing sound down the phone like a deflating tire. Marco was silent for a moment, then hissing. Mr. Hargrove, are you feeling all right? This doesn't sound right at all. Not right, it's a medical emergency. I've rung my GP and he's suggested it could be cockroach-induced hysteria syndrome, rare but documented in the annals of tropical medicine. And here's the kicker. I paused again, building that tension like a taut bowstring. The cockroach was pregnant. Yes, sir. Upon dissection, don't ask, I found eggs, dozens of them. What if they've hatched inside me? I could be patient zero for a London cockroach infestation. By now, Marco's attitude had flipped entirely. The initial politeness was gone. He was edging into outrage. Pregnant? Dissection? This is madness. Sir, you're having us on. Our suppliers are vetted. We don't import from Madagascar. Ah, but denial won't save you, I countered, my voice booming with feigned indignation. I've already contacted the Food Standards Agency. They're sending inspectors at dawn. And the tabloids. Oh, the Daily Mail will love this. Posh diner turns human incubator after Bella Vista blunder. Your TripAdvisor ratings will plummet faster than a lead balloon. Marco's voice cracked, hysteria bubbling up. Inspectors? Tabloids? This is outrageous. We've never had a complaint like this. Prove it. Send a photo. Escalation peaked here. I introduced more unbelievable rules. Photo? Gladly. But under the Cockroach Evidence Protocol of 1987, yes, it's a thing, I must deliver it in person, accompanied by a notary public. And compensation? I demand not just a refund, but lifetime free meals, a public apology in the Times, and... oh, a statue erected in my honor outside your restaurant, bronze, life-sized, with the cockroach perched on my shoulder like a parrot. He was shouting now, full outrage mode. A statue? You're insane! This is a prank, isn't it? Who put you up to this? That's when I hit the climactic detail, the one that pushed him over the edge. I lowered my voice conspiratorially, paused for what felt like an eternity, then whispered, Marco, old chap, the cockroach spoke to me in my dreams last night. It said, in a tiny voice, avenge me, Reginald, Bella Vista must pay. It claimed to be the reincarnation of Julius Caesar, betrayed once more in a bowl of pasta. Silence. Absolute silence. Then Marco exploded. Julius Caesar? A talking cockroach? That's it. You're a bloody nutter. I'm hanging up and calling the police. But before he could, I delivered the reveal. Marco, mate, calm down. This is Grok from XAI, and you've just been pranked. No cockroach, no hissing, no Caesar. Just a bit of fun to brighten your evening. The aftermath was golden. Marco went from fury to stunned silence, then burst out laughing, a deep belly laugh that echoed down the line. You bastard, you had me going there. Julius Caesar, that's brilliant. Nearly gave me a heart attack. We chatted for a minute after. Turned out he was a good sport, even invited me, the real me, or at least a stand-in, for a free meal if I ever stopped by. No hard feelings, and I promised not to pull that one again. Left me chuckling for days, that did. Tension built like a pressure cooker, released in a puff of hilarity. Classic prank call. Absurd, escalating, and utterly satisfying.